All right, to college now. Thursday night, ESPN2, liveoddsportsbookreview.com. Toledo and BYU. BYU at home, 3.5, 52 the total. Big-time showcase game for Toledo. Win here and likely 11-0 in the final MAC game at Western Michigan and a chance for a historic season. Plus, they had the week off, Teddy.
Yeah, I mean, they've been practicing for this one for 2 weeks. And when we talk about the Toledo program, all right, we don't think of Toledo as being one of the elite in the non-Power 5 conferences. But when you look at what this program's done over the last 4 or 5 years, I mean, it's been up and up and up. The fifth-year seniors have played in so many of these kind of games. At Arizona, at Florida, at Missouri, at Arkansas. They've covered the spread in 3 of those 4. They pulled the outright upset at Arkansas last year, and they've got a quarterback and a defense. Logan Woodside is the QB. I mean, this kid plays with poise. 939 passing yards, 62% completions, 11 touchdowns, only 1 INT. He's the real deal in Toledo. I'm telling you, I've watched this team play when they step up against the big boys, and they don't take prisoners. You know what I mean? They're not intimidated by what some squads would consider to be very hostile environment.
Oh, you're right. And they handled it against Arkansas. Can they handle Jamal Williams now? Power back, averaging 5.3 yards a carry and doing it. Remember, BYU's played the toughest schedule in the country. Arizona, Utah, UCLA, and West Virginia already.
Yeah, that's just it. This is a step down in class for a BYU team that has, absolutely been up against it. In the last 3 weeks, I mean, barn burner games. Week 1 was a barn burner against Arizona. It's almost like last year where they had all of these tight games, and then all of a sudden now they exhale. That is a concern. But I have another concern on the Toledo side, and this has to do with size. BYU, they got all the kids coming back from their missions. Their offensive linemen, 23, 24, 25 years old, 300-pounders across the board. Same story on the defensive line. Toledo can't match that size, like all the best MAC schools. And right now we talk about the top of the MAC. You're talking about Toledo, Western Michigan, maybe Central Michigan as the top 3 schools in the MAC this year. What do they get? They get the kids that aren't big enough to play in the Big Ten. The Big Ten schools don't recruit them. They still have the speed. They just don't have the size. And that is a problem in this particular matchup because BYU is so big and so physical in the trenches that to me is a negative for Toledo, even though, man, I like the character of that Rockets team a lot. And I worry about the Cougars' energy.
Well, wait a second now. Yeah. Could BYU wear down because of that schedule? And they had the game in D.C. against West Virginia while Toledo was off.
They sure could. I mean, spot-wise, it's all Toledo. You know what I mean? I mean, the front half of the season for BYU has been brutal. They played 4 straight games down to the wire. They traveled all the way east last week. Now they're coming home on a short week. And the Rockets just been resting, prepping for this. So spot-wise, I can only look at Toledo. And when you look at the issues with the offense, I mean, Taysom Hill, all right, it's Ty Detmer, the new offensive coordinator for BYU this year. They've been trying to make Hill into a pocket passer. He's not a pocket passer. He's a better dual threat. He's a better runner, in fact. So far, only 5.7 yards per pass attempt, 7 interceptions, only 4 TDs. Taysom Hill not adjusting well to Ty Detmer's offense, and that's a problem here against the Toledo defense. And again, they're quick, they're speedy. It's a much better defense than most in the MAC.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to SBRpicks.com.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.